Gonna lead a parade with this thing.
One of those hats.
Yeah, one of those big hats. It's so funny, all these years of Qigong, and I've never had a gong. A bell maybe sometimes, but it's just perfect. What's better than that? Okay, so here we go. So welcome everyone. Welcome to those present physically, and welcome to those coming in the door, and welcome to those on Zoom. So this is the 5th installment in this series. It's the second Neigong. Next time will be the last Neigong, and then we'll go into the spiritual Qigong for the last 2. And that'll take us through May, and that's the end of this 8-class course. So just a reminder, so Neigong is focusing more internally. So our awareness is inside the body, sometimes around the body, but mostly inside the body. And we're feeling the sensations in the body, and the ancients would say we're moving the qi in the body. It's very deep, and it can get very, very complex because it segues directly into all the Asian and particularly Chinese medical systems, which I am not here to teach, but we can practice this on our own without all that specific knowledge. We're going to be doing a fair amount of this seated, and if you need to get a yoga mat or something, please do. But be sure you have a chair or a bench or something to sit on. There's actually one here. There's a free one. Okay. So if I ever am feeling, sometimes somewhat tense or tired or depressed or something, the most basic movement to do that's not a posture is trembling mountain. So let's just begin with this. Okay. And classically, this is an upright posture. It's just that we're using the thighs to raise and lower our body, but it's actually the same posture as standing one. It's just that it's going up and down. Okay. And so the first thing we notice is the movement, the sensations that are created by this movement, which are intense. And so just, if we just focus on how this feels, we can feel the skin, we can feel the movement in the hands and the joints and so on. And then let's move our attention now to inside the body, because this movement it's jostling our organs. Can you feel that? You don't have to envision every organ, but just this sense that internally there's a sense of liquidity internally, and it's because all the organs are perfused with water. And just bringing the attention to the inside the torso, that all of that is moving, and we can actually feel it. So our mind will want to imagine the heart moving, imagine the lungs, imagine the stomach, and all that. And that's okay, but then let that go and then just feel it. So this is really an internal massage. The organs are massaging each other. Okay, very good. And then moving our attention um, to the breath. So the breath, of course, is jerky, but go beneath that and just make a long in-breath and a long out-breath. So in the midst of this bouncing, there's something that's very smooth, and that's the in-breath and the out-breath. And if you remember from last time, the microcosmic orbit, so we're focusing internally anyway, feeling the organs, feeling the movement of the air. In-breath up the spine, out-breath down the inside front of the body. So this breath and this in microcosmic orbit is relaxing us, and the bouncing is stimulating us at the same time. And so this is the embodiment of being alert and relaxed. Okay, let's increase the intensity. Let go of your head and neck. Let go of your shoulders. Very good. And on the count of three, we'll stop altogether. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now the breath. Deep breath. Deep exhale, relax. Just feel the sensations in the body. Okay, so the obvious ones are the tingling in the hands and the face and the skin and so on. And now move in and feel inside. There's definitely a warmth. The body's, of course, warm. But when we're doing this, it gets warmer. And sense that tingling that you can feel on the skin. Sense that inside. The tingling is just the aliveness of the body. And the inside of the body is alive too. Just feel that inside the body mixed with the warmth. Okay, good. Okay. So this sense of aliveness is inside the body and on the skin. Okay, good. Now the out breath, focus around the body, like we're exhaling and radiating. We're radiating heat, we're radiating electromagnetic energy. Just bring that right through the skin so there's sort of this field around the body. Doesn't have to be real big. So we've done Trembling Mountain before, probably several times, and that's Qigong. When you do it with this awareness, it's Neigong, because we're bringing the attention inside. And just the bringing of that attention inside increases the flow of energy inside the body. So it's mental, but it's physical too at the same time. Okay, good. Okay. So now moving to the next. So let's focus on the breathing, and so separate a little bit. And if you want to, then sit down to horse stance. We're going to focus now on the breathing in the chest and the heart area, middle dantian. Okay. So with your breath, okay. So let's make this an in breath. And then this is an out breath. And move at the pace of your own breath. So the in breath, we sort of fill up, and the out breath, we sort of relax, empty out. Okay, so this is the movement of yin and yang, the basis of life. Okay, good. In breath, open. Out breath, relax. So filling up and emptying out. Now your eyes, when you're filling up, your eyes are looking up. And then when you're relaxing, your eyes are looking down or within. Okay, very good. Let's just do two more. Okay. And then back to standing. Very good. Okay. Now we'll repeat the same Qigong movement. This time we're going to do the breathing in reverse. Okay. So if we start out pointing to the heart, and when you come to an out breath, open up. In breath, fold in. Now, this makes sense too, because in breath, we're bringing it in. So we're focusing in the torso. Out breath, we're breathing out all around. And smile just a little bit. Let's do two more. So this reverse breathing is considered an advanced practice, but you can see it's very doable. Um, if we're breathing in the way that just feels natural, that's good. Um, at the same time, it becomes too easy and our mind wanders. If we're breathing opposite what seems natural, we concentrate the mind, the attention, more on the breath and the movement to keep it going. So it requires more attention. That's why it's considered sort of another level. But it's Neigong, it's focusing inside. And so if you're doing any Qigong practice, of course, they're all done with the breath, in harmony with the breath. If you find yourself sort of going away mentally, or you're getting distracted, do the reverse breathing. And it will immediately bring you into the present moment. It's incredible how it works. Okay. So let's do this again and with no instruction. So let's just go ahead with the full body breathing. Do it however you want to. Do it whatever feels natural, and then switch it. Okay. And just notice how that is. Okay. Now just let go of doing it either way and just breathe and move. Let's do two more. And let's stop with the hands opposite the heart. Okay. So this next part is what my teacher Tricia you called pulling taffy. Just 19th century making candy thing. So um uh, so just start vertically, and the palms are vertically aligned, and then just move the hands close together without touching. So, and just put your attention in your palms, and then expand the hands, the distance, move the hands up and down until you don't feel that so much anymore, and then come back and do it with the breath. It's maybe a very subtle movement, it may just be a couple of inches, or it might be bigger. And here, this is feel and imagine. So maybe feeling is very strong, or maybe your imagination of there being a connection, sort of a connection of light, warm light between the hands. Maybe that's very strong, but however that is for you. Okay. And then just without going up and down, to just notice how it feels in your palms. So these are the Lao Gong points, the bubbling wells in the feet and in the hands. And this sort of sensitivity to the qi in the hands, this is the basis of qi healing techniques. But by doing this, we're balancing our own upper and lower, left and right, balancing our own qi in our body. Okay. And if you feel some tingling or warmth or something in here, so that's said to be the presence of qi. It can be felt in the palms, it can be felt in the middle of the forehead, the top of the head, the lower dantian, in the belly, in the heart. It can be felt in many different places. And I think we often feel it, but we disregard it. But don't disregard it. Oh, that's real. Can really be a good guide. Okay. And then, so then we just go this way. So of course, Trisha would be way out here, and we're all doing this, and she's, uh, uh, but sensing chi. So my teacher Ken Cohen could project this a good 10 feet. You could turn your back to him and feel him. He's a master healer, so he can do that. Okay, very good. And if you don't feel anything, that's fine. You will. It's just becoming sensitive to anything just takes a little bit of practice. Okay. All right. And now is to turn the palms facing the body. So we sort of activated the palms, and now they're activating the middle and lower dantian. And you can do the same thing here. So with the breath, you can come away from the body a bit and then back. Good. And now just as an experiment, if you want to, you just place your hands right on your body and see how that sense of touch is different. It's very different from when your hands are in front. So it's much more subtle when your hands are in front of the body. When they're on the body, there's just it's a much different kind of feeling. Okay. So a lot of Qi healing, there's no touching. The healer will not touch the patient. Okay. All right. Very good. So now when you resume just this standing posture, there's still a connection between the palms. It's a little more distant, but okay, good. Let me check the time. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and sit now. So this next practice is very, very old. And it definitely involves visualization, as a lot of Qigong does, the way it's taught. But just to repeat, the visualization can be helpful at first. At a certain point in the practice, it becomes unnecessary because we're just focused on the sensation. The feeling, the sense of touch is much closer to the original Qi than the visualization of it is. That's a couple steps removed. So I'll teach it as a visualization, but do that or not, depending on what works for you. Okay. So it's called the inner smile. Some of you have done that. I know some of you have done. So you're smiling. If you're smiling right now, you've done this, you know this. And it's really silly. It's a really silly thing to do. And that silliness makes you smile even more. So that's part of it. It's just that we're going to bring a loving attention, awareness inside the body directly to the organs. And in classic Chinese medicine, each organ is a different color. And so you bring that light to that organ. Okay. So you can do this standing up, but we'll do it. See, so just be comfortable. Okay. So the first part is to just feel and imagine that in front of you, there's this huge smile, like sort of like the Cheshire cat. But there's this huge smile in front of you and maybe just a little above you. And with the in-breath, we're going to breathe the smile into the body, but it's still there. We're gonna breathe it in, but it's still there. Okay. So with the next in-breath, breathe the smile in. It doesn't have to go in the nose. It can just come right into your body. And breathe it in. to the heart. You can do this a few times if you want. So just imagine you're breathing this smile in. It goes to the physical heart. And as you're breathing, it's floating around in the heart. This smile is. And as it's floating around, it's radiating this light. And in the heart, it's this ruby red light, this luminous ruby red. So the heart increasingly is glowing with this red light. And naturally, you might be smiling just a little bit. So the heart likes this. Smiling to the heart. The heart is glowing. And if you want to, you can just express gratitude for the heart or to the heart. Thank you. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for moving the blood. Or not, that's optional. Okay, so the heart gets to where it's glowing very brightly. Where would we be without the heart? So thank you. Okay. And then with an out breath, you breathe the smile back to its source. And now the heart is just glowing with this red light. Okay. And the smile is in front and above, and it's smiling. Okay. Okay, good. So next, with an in-breath, we'll breathe the smile in. And this time, it'll come in and separate into two and go to the lungs. So whenever you're ready. And you can imagine the lungs and you can feel the lungs because they're moving. And as the smiles circulate around the lungs, they begin to glow with a luminous pearlescent white light. So the lungs are increasingly shining with this white light. And at the same time, the heart is glowing this ruby red. So the heart is kind of behind the lungs and pretty much in the middle. And if you want to, you can express your thanks to your lungs. For doing what they do and for interfacing with the world, bringing in the air from outside and bringing it in and then putting it back out. And so now the lungs are really glowing. They're very healthy. And the heart. Okay, very good. And then when you're ready with the next exhale, you breathe the smile back. The smiles merge and breathe back out to the big smile. And so inside the body, the lungs are bright white and the heart is ruby red, glowing with health. Very good. So next one, for the in-breath, we'll breathe this smile in, and it will go down lower in the body and to the right side to where the liver and gallbladder are. So the next in-breath, breathe in, look down inside the body. And the smile goes into the liver and gallbladder. The liver is big. It's on the right side. And as the smile is moving around, it's slowly causing the liver gallbladder to turn this beautiful emerald green. And the color intensifies with the breath. So you've got the ruby red heart and the white lungs and the green on the right side, lower right side of the body. If you like, you can express your gratitude. The liver filters the blood. Okay, so there's the ruby red heart and the pearlescent white lungs and the emerald green liver. And the body is glowing with health. Okay, and then when you're ready, breathe the smile back out to the big smile and just focus on these lights in the body. Okay, very good. And then with the next in-breath, we're going to breathe in the smile and breathe it down to the opposite of the liver to where the spleen is, which is also a pretty big organ. It's another filtering, cleansing organ. So breathe that down and let the smile move around. Just get the area correct. And it's just on the lower left. And the smile is floating around. And as it does that, the spleen begins to grow with this glow, with this beautiful yellow, luminous yellow light. It's getting very colorful down there now. We got the red, ruby red heart, the pearlescent white lungs, the emerald green liver, and now this bright yellow on the left side of the spleen. And if you want to, you can thank the spleen for what it does and just appreciate it. It doesn't really get much appreciation. Thank you. Yeah, the whole torso now is glowing with this healthy light. and feeling very much appreciated. Okay. Okay, very good. And then when you're ready, you breathe the smile out, back to the big smile. And just sit with these 4 lights in the torso. Okay, very good. The next one, breathe in the smile, and it goes down and to the kidneys, which are in the back, toward the back of the body. And they're pretty big. And the smile separates into 2, and the smiles dance around inside the kidneys. And as they do, they create this luminous blue light in each kidney. And then the light and the sensation intensifies. And we can thank the kidneys for being there and so faithfully doing their jobs. And then just a sense of the whole torso with all these lights. These lights are rainbow colors of health. Okay, very good. And then with the next out breath, breathe the 2 smiles into 1 and breathe them out and back to the big smile. And just sit with this luminous body. Okay. Very good. And now with the next in breath, we breathe in a smile. We breathe it down the esophagus and down into the stomach and into all the intestines. So the whole lower part. And the smiles floating around in there and lighting up that whole digestive tract. And as it moves around, the organs begin to glow with this beautiful pink light of health. And you can feel it as a very gentle kind of energy of health and well-being. And we can thank the stomach for tolerating all the various things we're tossing down to it all the time, most of which are good, but not all. Thank you for that. And for the digestive system. And then it gets very bright, this pink. And now the whole torso, the red heart, the white lungs, the green liver, the yellow spleen, and the pink belly, and the blue in the back, the blue kidneys. All of this, all these organs are lit up and glowing with health and vitality. When you're ready with the next out breath, you can breathe the smile back out to the big smile. And then the last one, we'll breathe the smile in and into the brain. So the next in breath. And the smile is floating around and lighting up the brain. And as it moves around, the light gets more intense, and you can feel the whole brain lit up with this silver light, sort of the light of the stars, silvery kind of light. And the smile is moving all around and lighting up the brain and the spine and the nervous system. And now with his nervous system, you can feel the whole body. You can feel the muscles, the bones, the ligaments, every cell in the body is alive and glowing. And it's miraculous how it all functions together somehow in this one organism. Absolutely awesome. All these different organs and systems lit up with our gratitude and our consciousness. And aware of the impermanence of this body. A century ago, it did not exist. All of this has come together in this miraculous fashion and given the possibility of life. And we are so fortunate to have the experience of a human life. The red heart, the white lungs, green liver, the yellow spleen, the pink digestive tract, the blue kidneys, the silvery light of the stars of the brain and the nervous system. And this body breathing with universal chi, with aliveness. And the final is just to, as the smile is breathed out back to the big smile, it forms also on the mouth a little bit. And with the last in-breath, you breathe in the big smile into the whole body. The big smile merges with every cell in the body. No separation. And someday this body will fade away, but in this moment, it is completely alive. Okay, good. Let's take a few more breaths. So you can feel the tingling on the skin and the tingling inside the body. That's our life force energy. Okay, very good. And then just notice how you feel just from doing that simple practice of breathing to the organs, which is a little bit silly, but look at the effect. Very profound, actually. Now, let's just revisit the microcosmic orbit. So you remember beginning at the perineum. In breath, up the spine to the crown of the head. Out breath, down the inside, front of the body, back to the perineum. Or you can do it more slowly. You can just take several breaths to move it up and then down. So the cycling of this orbit is connecting or mixing the chi from the perineum or the earth chi, the heavy vital energy of physicality, mixing that with the very, very fine light of the stars represented at the crown of the head, bringing that up, transforming it, and then with the out breath, bringing that fine energy down and back down into the perineum, down into the earth. So the dense chi becomes very suffuse as it goes up, and the diffuse chi becomes dense as it goes down. Now try reverse breathing and beginning at the perineum. With an out breath, you elevate the chi. With an in breath, it comes down. And it may start doing it on its own and just let go of the breath and just let this chi rise up and come down on its own. Until it stops moving altogether and it just sort of glows. Very good. Take a few more breaths. And then just very subtly and gently come back into the room, into the present moment. So many of these practices were taught and practiced in order to increase longevity. And this was, yawning is a sign of qi moving. That's one of the peasants didn't want longevity because life was too hard, but the aristocrats definitely wanted it. And so they would practice Qigong. Originally, it was very secret and it was just practiced by the intelligentsia and the ruling class. The reason they wanted longevity was not just to live longer, but as we aged, the teaching was that you were more able to fulfill your spiritual potential. So the longer you lived, the more awakened you could become. This was sort of the reason for wanting to live a long time, so that you could, these practices would segue into spiritual awareness. And that's what the last two classes will be. But you can really see, I think, just with this Neigong, just by bringing the mind and body completely together, it's a powerful spiritual experience, which is quite unexpected. I mean, it's the liver and it's, yet it's pretty wild, actually. So practice this on your own. You can do it standing or sitting. If you can't quite remember the order or the colors, don't worry about it. The main thing is bringing our attention, our loving, kind attention to the body, however that works for you, whatever way you want to do that. And somehow that transforms our mood, transforms our thinking. It's kind of extraordinary how it works. Okay. So that, I think, is the most ancient Neigong practice, at least that I know, that I've been taught. It goes way, way, way back. And there you go. Take it and run with it. Do whatever you want with it. Any questions or comments about any of that? Yeah.
I'm curious why the colors purple and orange aren't in that.
I have no idea.
When we went to the brain, I expected it to be one of those.
Yeah. Yeah. In the Chinese system, there are 5 elements in the medical system. And I think there are those 5 colors. And then the nervous system is more of an add-on. It's not a color exactly. It's consciousness. So red, white, green, yellow, blue, there would be 5. So I think that's why it is. But again, it's getting out of my depth.
And those are the same colors in Tibetan prayer flags.
Oh, is that right? Green Tara and
so red, white, green, yellow, and blue.
wow. Yeah. Well, all these systems merge. There was a lot of coming and going back in the day, and that doesn't surprise me, but that's wonderful to know. Yeah, I have those up, but I never put that together.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's it. Okay. Well, yeah, those would be the 5 elements of Chinese medicine. Wow, thank you. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Chat just asks, reproductive organ colors?
I wondered that myself. I was not taught that. And I haven't found it in the literature. So if someone can find that, what that is, great. But I don't know. And I haven't been taught that. it does seem like a glaring omission, doesn't it? I don't know. I think I'd go with purple, but I don't know. I don't know. Good question. Good question. Maybe someone can find that out. Anybody else? No. Okay, good. All right. Well, let's do the removing glasses Qigong. And 1, 2, 3. And then this always ends with the tapping of the kidneys. Uh, Every, almost every teacher, somehow the kidneys are said to be the repository of the chi, and then you sort of, you're embodying it by stimulating the kidneys. That's something like that. So thank you about the Tibetan. That's very interesting. So I know there's white Tara and there's green Tara. Is there, but there's not a blue? Or so I don't know what those.
The medicine Buddha is very blue.
The medicine Buddha is blue. Is there a yellow? Or a red?
I'm thinking about the robes that a lot of monks wear, are yellow often.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Yeah, I'll check into that. Very, very great. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for your practice and for your presence. And may our practice together in some small way benefit all beings. And great thanks to the Taiji Center for hosting, as always. Can you get up?